For coming early, you'll enjoy my video. So I'm going to share the video now, and then after that, we have a discussion around it. Then we'll go into marketing, which is what we want to discuss today. Okay. I believe I'm audible. Hello, am I audible? Okay.
Yes, you are audible. We can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, good evening. We can hear you.
Dr. Shana, good evening.
I can hear you clearly.
My volume was down and I didn't realize it. Sorry. I didn't hear anybody initially. Where are the ladies? What's happening today?
I've been feeling all these symptoms, and I was one of those people. I was always
Hi, everyone.
Is the sound
Welcome to
coming
Wheat
out?
Ground,
Can we all
the
hear the
YouTube
sound,
channel
please?
dedicated to
Yeah.
entrepreneurs
Thank you.
and their journeys. Today, we have a wonderful guest, Miss Tony Chavis, and I'm not going to delve too deeply into her history because I want her to share her own story. But let's just say that I would compare her to the Phoenix, a woman who rose from the ashes to form at least two companies, one dedicated to design for TTC Enterprises, and something that's really close to her heart, the Courageous Women Rise Up. Let's welcome Miss Tony. Tony.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, like you said, I am Tony Chavis, and I am the CEO of TTC Enterprises and Opulent Design. I am also the CEO of Courageous Women Rise Up. So, just to give just a little bit of a backstory about me,
I'm so sorry, Dotun, but are you already playing this for everybody to
home
know to
improvement
hear, or
specialist,
this is
interior
testing?
designer.
I'm not testing.
I'm a
I'm playing.
realtor. I'm a
Okay, so Chima, please, you need to put your video on so that you can start.
and I'm an author, and I'm also an advocate for women's health and wellness. And what really brought me to that was I served 22 years in the Air Force. And my career took a detour right at the end because I started experiencing all of these health issues and, just not feeling well and exhausted and in pain all the time. And I woke up one morning paralyzed from the neck down. And I had no clue what was going on. I mean, I'd been feeling all these symptoms, and I was one of those people. I was always physically active. I played softball, I was into rollerblading and roller skating and volleyball and you name it. I was just, into all kinds of sports. And all of a sudden I found myself at this point where I really couldn't do much and I was in pain all the time. So it actually took close to 2 years to get diagnosed or to try to figure out what was going on. And I was finally told I had fibromyalgia. Well, needless to say, back when that initially happened, nobody really knew anything about it. And that diagnosis, from what I found out, was more of a diagnosis of exclusion because they couldn't really figure out what was wrong. So they gave it the title of fibromyalgia. Now, what that also meant in a lot of cases to many doctors was they thought it was all up here.
Thank you for giving that very, very comprehensive history. But yes, kindly continue. So they thought this was just some kind of psychological condition versus actually being a physical one. Kindly tell us what happened next.
Well, it became a really tough process because you're trying to figure out what's going on. I'm active duty military at this time. So I have to use the military system to try to work through things. So one of the biggest things that I had to do, I mean, of course, everybody has their, regular doctor, the primary care doctor. But it quickly became apparent to me that this doctor didn't have the answers. So I did have to kind of really push to get to specialist in order to try to dig deeper and figure out what was going on. Now, mind you, we all have the power of the cell phone in our hand and the internet now. It wasn't as prevalent back then to really kind of research and try to figure out what was going on, but I did. I started researching and started kind of digging into things because, the more they kept trying to tell me it was all in my head, I kind of got a little angry about it because I'm like, this is not in my head because I'm a busy person. I'm on the go. I'm doing things, and to all of a sudden not be able to do things that I love to do, I was like, no, something is going on. Now, fast forward, I kind of figured out my diagnosis before I met a doctor who finally went down that path. But one of the biggest things that was frustrating, probably within the process, was just the sheer fact that we all know when you go to a doctor's appointment, the doctors have a finite window of time that they're supposed to spend with each patient. So it wasn't until I got to one of those specialists who actually took time and listened to my entire story of what my symptoms were, the things that I was going through. Because the bottom line is from day to day, it would change. Today it could be an issue with my hands, not being able to hold things, not being able to grasp things, numbness in my arms. Another day it might be numbness and tingling in my legs. So it was constantly kind of changing. And so, if you ask me today how I felt, today might have been a good day. Tomorrow might have been a day where I barely felt like I could get out of bed. So it was constantly morphing and changing. But I finally found that specialist who took enough time to listen to me and hear the broad story of what had been going on with me over the last couple of years. And so, as we talked, he said, well, you seem pretty intelligent to me. He said, at this point, what do you think it is? And when I said fibromyalgia, he said, you've hit the nail on the head. So, but then became the challenge of learning about the condition. Many people didn't know much about it. They didn't know how to treat it. They didn't know what to do. So that became the next part of the process. Now, mind you, at this point in time, I'm still on active duty. So every day was a challenge. And it came to a point where I would make it through my week, Monday through Friday, and then I spent my entire weekend recuperating so I could try to get ready to go back to work on Monday. And it got so bad at one point that I I had been to Korea, and if anybody has ever been stationed in Korea, they have these mink blankets, and they're like the most wonderful
Mm.
thing in the world. They're these heavy, warm, just fuzzy blankets. I had one of those blankets. I put it in my car, and even in the midst of the winter months, I often where most people would go and take a cigarette break. I used to have to go take nap breaks. So I would go get in my car and I'd wrap up in my blanket and I'd set a timer for 15 minutes. And I would literally go in my car and I could pass out for 15 minutes. My timer would go off. I'd get up, kind of get myself together, and I'd go back in the office and I'd keep pushing through. Well, it really became a challenge and an issue in that last couple of years because now I had one of my doctors saying that I was not able to deploy. Well, one of my higher ups all of a sudden said, well, if you can't deploy, then we're going to separate you from the military. And I'm like, wait, hold on. What do you mean you're going to separate me? At this point, I've got 18 and a half years in the military. And I'm like, I've given my all to the military. I am not going to just walk away. So unfortunately, I found myself fighting for my military career my last few years. I had to go through medical boards and all kinds of things and testing, and it was daunting. The entire process was really daunting, but I got through it. And like I said, that morning that I woke up paralyzed, it was in the midst of all of this stuff that was going on. And now that, they were kind of like pushing to separate me from the military this close to retirement, my biggest goal at that point was to make it to the end. So I remember when I woke up that morning, my husband, had come back and forth through the room a couple of times, and I normally never slept in. It wasn't my norm. And he finally had stopped to ask me that day, "So are you planning on getting up today?" And all I could do was whisper and tell him that I couldn't move. So I remember, him grabbing me and, he sat me up and he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go take you to the hospital." And I'm like, "No, no, we're not." And he's like, "Well, what do you mean?" And I said, "This would be all they need to separate me." So I prayed. I prayed like I'd never prayed before. And I was like, "Lord, just help me get myself together." I didn't know what was going on, but that was probably really the pinnacle of my health just really tanking. So, I mean, it took me all day, but it was like I just kept willing myself to get it together. I was like, "Come on, body, you can do this." And I had been into meditation and things of that sort before. So I really mentally was just willing my body to move again. And so it was like eventually I could feel the blood, kind of like reaching my limbs. And, I finally felt like I was starting to get my circulation back because I was determined. I was not going to the hospital. I was not going to give them that ammunition against me. And so I did. I finally got it together and I got out of the bed that day. But in that process, though, over the next few years, I made it to my retirement date. I did. I made it there. I got to my retirement date, and I remember at this point, it had been quite a challenge and quite a struggle. In the Air Force, they send us to a medical review board sometimes if you, choose to fight your disability claim. So I ended up going to the medical review board, and they sent me all the way to Texas. So they sent me to Texas from Virginia. I'm in Virginia. My husband with me. And I can remember my lawyer coming out, my advocate coming out of the courtroom, and she had tears in her eyes. And she said, she just kind of paused, and I'm like, "What's going on? What's wrong?" And she says, "We're not even going to go in front of the panel today." And I'm thinking, "What's going on? Why? What happened?" And she says, "I just came out with another veteran who lost her legs in the war, and they denied her disability claim. She took off her prosthetic, and they still didn't seem to understand how severe her disability was. And they were still going to separate her, and they were not going to give her 100% disability." And she said, "With your condition, we can't see it." She said, "It couldn't be more visual than that." She says, "With your disability, they can't see it." And she says, "I already know they don't understand it." So, she kind of basically said, "I know they're going to deny your claim for your disability." She said, "So enjoy the rest of your time here in Texas." And she says, "This is probably kind of where the buck stops here, but you're probably going to be medically separated." But the blessing that was in my favor at that point was I had basically reached right at my window of the 20 years on active duty. And I also had a couple of years of reserve time. So, in essence, that's how I had my 22 years of service. So, I made it to my retirement date. I was medically separated from the military. And even though they said I was no longer worldwide qualified, even though I had maintained and done my job right up until the end, they separated me with only 20% disability. So, needless to say, it was a blow. It was devastating.
Mm.
I had chosen the military as my career. I had raised my daughter, and many of those years I was a single mom. But, I felt like I had given my all, and I felt like in my time of need, I wasn't getting that support that I needed. But, and it was really hard. It was. In that first 2 years after I initially separated, I went into a serious depression. And I lived on my sofa for almost 2 years. And at that point, I ended up on over 26 different medications.
Okay, good mm, sure. Good evening, everybody. I think we have a full house now. We have about 22 people in the house. Okay. Um, I hope we were able to hear an entrepreneur talk about finding strength. There's a little short clip I'm going to play in this. This is a 3 minute clip. I think that first clip was just to give you quite some idea of who she is and what she has passed through. And then we can have our advice in 3 minutes and we can go into our presentation for today. And then what we're going to, before we go into our presentation, I'm going to ask what we learn from this, whether what we have learned this session. Can you hear the sound?
Any
Yes,
last
yeah.
words for our audience, for our disabled entrepreneurs out
Is the
there?
sound
What would you
audible?
like to give us your final message?
Yes, it is, Dotun.
Biggest message that
Thank
I
you.
want to give to any woman who is facing any health challenge or a disability. Number one, don't give up. You're stronger than you think. Your mind can overcome any challenge you face. You can truly work through whatever your challenges are, whatever your disabilities are. You can work through all of them. And one of the reasons why I kind of truly got started in business was because I wanted to find somebody had told me I couldn't work, that I would never work again. I wasn't okay with that. So, what I had to focus on, what do I love to do more than anything? And it was working with my hands. It was the creative side of my mind. So no matter what your disability is, whether it's a mental disability, a physical disability, there's still always something that you're good at. There's something that you innately know that is just a part of your composition as a person. Use that. Use that to build and grow and create a business that not only serves you, but your community around you.
Ms. Chavis, thank you so much for this interview.
Thank
It,
you. Thank
thank you.
you.
Our audience appreciates this. And
Okay, so what can we say about this woman's advice when it comes to a person with disability starting business? Anybody wants to share experience? I can see Queen Christopher is already raising her hand. It looks like she's had there's something she can identify with from what the speaker was saying. Queen, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. Good evening, all. Well, I did not start when she started, but what what really encouraged me from all what she's talking about is believing in yourself. Because when in service, they felt that with her new status, um, there's nothing she can really achieve in life, but she made up her mind that disability cannot limit her, but take her to heights which she actually achieve at the end of the day to make sure that disability never limits her. So her motivation and her inner strong will really touched me. Thank you all.
Fantastic, Queen. And for everybody, we need that strong will to actually succeed. We need that desire to prove the environment and the system wrong. She said, they said she could not walk, and she wanted to prove to the world that she's going to walk with her hands. Even though she could not walk with her legs, she walked with her hands, and she became a multiple entrepreneur. Okay, any other person wants to share? What do you think? What did you see? Could you identify with this person? Is there something you have also implemented? I mean, some of the things she was sharing. Can we have anyone share experience more?
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening. Let's go ahead.
Thank you very much. Her story, although I didn't join from the beginning, but it was very inspiring. And one thing I caught from what she said is that despite the disability, irrespective of any disability you have, there is an ability inside of your disability. And scientifically speaking, for example, if somebody has a particular disability, that dysfunctionality is being channeled to other areas to amplify it. So we shouldn't feel okay because we are this kind of disability, one or the other, then we are totally cut out. There is still something, there is an extra inner strength inside of us. And when we look inside, focus on looking inside rather than paying attention to what is being said outside, we'll be able to discover who we are. So we are unique in our different ways. So that is what I got from what she said.
And that's amazing. You're 100% correct. 100% correct. We shouldn't focus on the what we cannot do. Rather, we focus on what we can do. Okay. Any other person wants to share? Explain. What did you pick? I saw Perpetua was raising up her hand before.
Yes, good evening,
Okay.
sir. Good evening,
Continue. Okay.
everyone.
Yes.
Yes, I met the story too. I met it halfway, and I was like, this person is almost like me. I was just listening to the almost towards the end of the, the clip. There's something she said that struck me. She was like, she said, don't give up. You are stronger than you think. Even no matter the disability. I discovered something about disability. It makes you think inwardly. I believe because of her disability, she was able to think of things she thought she wouldn't be able to do before. And she saw herself being an entrepreneur. I believe she was, if she wasn't a person with disability, that thought wouldn't have crossed her mind. She would have been, since she was a military person, she would have been thinking of the military aspect of going about her life. But because of disability, she her thoughts went inwardly and it brought out something she loved doing, like she said. Another part, something she talked about again was where she talked about her husband helping her. Hello?
Yeah, audible.
Hello?
We're with you, Perpetua. Please,
Yes,
we're with
okay.
you.
Talk about her husband being there for her. That is one thing persons with disability need. They need support system. They need people around them to be cheering them up. Being a person with disability is not something anybody planned for. Like most of us, like me, I met my own almost at my adult age. You can imagine living life as a child without disability. You got to a teenage age without disability. Towards the end of your teen age, disability now struck. You know, your life your life will change. So you don't need to give up there. You need to start thinking of, this life of mine have changed. How do I help myself to continue being who I'm supposed to be? First of all, before disability, you are a human being first. I used to tell any person with disability, first you are a human being before disability. If anybody is seeing you from anywhere, you will see that person sitting there or standing there as a human being first before looking at a disability. So outside disability, you're supposed to fulfill a destiny for yourself and to contribute to society, right? So once disability strike, that should not be the end of our life. We should think inwardly and not give up, because there is something good out there that we are meant to achieve, and disability should not stop that from us. I'm so happy, I'm so impressed with the clip. Things like this should be played once in a while to encourage us to keep moving on. Thank you very much.
Yes, thanks, Perpetua. Okay, Esther, over to you.
Okay, good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. My name is Esther Isaac. Although I joined a little bit late because of network glitches and I couldn't get everything she said, but there is one thing that I learned is we are not supposed to allow our disability to limit us. We shouldn't listen to what people are saying. I'll use myself as an example. I wasn't born with disability. I grew up to meet it. And at that point, and people were discouraging my mother. They were like, since this condition have come up, there's no need of sending her to school. She's now disabled. She won't be able to do anything. In fact, they discouraged my mother from so many things. Some people were like, send her to go and learn work. No need of sending her to university. She can't cope. But I thank God for the kind of mother that I have. She didn't give a listening ear to that. She was like, the best thing I can do for this my child is to train her in school. And getting to when I applied for the university, I applied for University of Nigeria and Nsukka. Many people discouraged me that I won't be able to make it. I can't go to the school. The school is too taxing. The school is too stressful. That the school is not for someone like me. But thank God I didn't give listening ear to all of those negative comments. I pushed, I applied. In fact, during my JAMB and my post-JAMB, I was one of the best in the faculty and I got the admission. And despite my department is at the topmost floor, the third floor. In fact, I didn't listen to what people were saying. How will you be climbing the stairs with your condition and all that? I didn't listen to anybody. I kept on pushing, and by the special grace of God, I graduated and I served. Even when I went for my service, the NYC officials, they were like, just register and go home. You can't amount to anything in this camp. You can't do anything. I said, I'm not going. I will participate in everything they are doing. And I participated. I even conducted election in the state that I served. In fact, everything that other people are doing, I see myself doing it. I didn't allow the condition to limit me. Coming to when I was about to get married, people discouraged my husband. How will you marry someone that can't work and this and that? You will suffer, she will be a burden to you and all that. My husband didn't listen to them. And how is she going to be carrying pregnancy and all that? And God did it. And thank God for the kind of man that I married to. And thank God that we didn't give a listening ear to all those negative comments. So what I learned today is that if you didn't listen, if you can close your ear from negative comments, person with disability, there is nothing that anybody without disability can do that you cannot do. I am married today with 2 kids and every other thing that anybody can do. And in fact, God gave me double strength. We have strength. We have both physical, both inner. In fact, the kind of strength we have is double, is times 2 than persons without disability have. Thank you very much.
Amazing, 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 amazing. It's really inspiring listening to Esther. I think I'll just take 1 or 2 more and then we'll go into what we want to discuss for the day. So this is an appetizer. But today, for those who did not meet the beginning of the video, it means you should join early the next class. Okay, so let any other person wants to say something to key learning from that video before we go into marketing today. Today we're going to be discussing marketing. Any other person? Anyone from the deaf cluster? Madam Chioma, can say if there's anyone that wants to say something. Okay, I think Khadija wants to say something. Over to you, Khadija. Okay, so she wants to type it. Okay, great. So while Khadija is typing it, I'm going to be sharing my screen so that we could kick off the presentation, and then I'll read what Khadija types afterwards. Okay. Okay. So let's check. Okay, so Khadija, okay, Khadija is still typing. Khadija says she was not born with disability, but met it later in life. And even though young, she refused to be discouraged. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. The ability to be able to press forward and move on in spite of what the challenges are is amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much, Khadija, and thank you everyone that's contributed to that video. Today we want to talk about the market. Market. Understanding the market. So when you hear market, what comes to your mind? So let's talk. Market. What comes to your mind? Market. Okay. Victoria, market. What comes to your mind? Tell me. Victoria, let's have you. Then Precious afterwards. Victoria. Victoria, you are not audible. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you, Queen.
Okay,
Okay, I
can
think,
I say something?
okay, over to you, Queen. Please go ahead.
Okay, today we're gonna be talking about understanding market. And
Yes.
to my own knowledge and understanding about market is a place where buying and selling takes place. That's
Fantastic.
when we talk about market, that's this. It's a place
Fantastic.
where buying and selling takes place. Thank
Okay,
you.
fantastic, fantastic. And thank you, Queen, for that. Okay, so any other person wants to add to what Queen has said about market?
Okay, good evening, sir. Good evening,
Yes,
everyone.
yes,
Just like
Precious.
I've said, a market is a place where people buy and
The host has
sell.
stopped broadcasting the meeting on. Yeah. Okay, and that's very correct. The people buy and sell. Okay. Any other addition? Aliu, Sadatu?
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening.
Everyone. A market is a place where
Okay,
buying and selling of goods and services take place.
Fantastic. Yeah, a lot of strong academic definitions. Victoria, let's hear from you, and then we hear from Precious. Okay. Hello, Victoria. Okay, let's hear from Precious then. I think she's having some issues with unmuting her mic.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. Please
To
go
my
ahead.
own understanding, all right. To my own understanding, market is a place where transactions are being made, where you can have exchange of goods and services for money, and then kinds of services are being carried out.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, Victoria, we can't hear you. If you're talking, we cannot hear you. You will need to unmute your mic for us to be able to hear you. So, everybody is correct about the market, okay? Everybody is correct about the market. We're going to talk about what are the composition of the market. But before we go, I'm going to reserve this slide till after my class today. It's a question, and it's a question about whether whether disability can even be an advantage when in your business. Okay, it's easy to remember disadvantages, but could it possibly be an advantage? But let's leave that question for the end of this class. Okay, so Victoria, can you unmute? We're going to go into what is a component of a market. Okay, let's hear from Esther, the component of a market.
Okay, no, not components of market I want to say. I really want
go ahead.
to define market.
Okay, go ahead, define market.
Market is not necessarily a place where transactions take place. Market is also people that are willing to buy your product and services is equally known as market, to my own understanding.
Okay, so you're expanding the definition that, okay, even the people that are buying from you also, they're part of the market. Any other person? Can we look at the components of a market now? What do you find in the market? What are the people or things that make a market a market? You can see. Can anybody recognize this market? Nobody. Okay, it's fine. But then what are the things you can see in the market? What are the constant things about the market? Who can begin to list them? Let's begin to list them.
We have goods.
What do you say? Come again.
Goods.
Goods.
Okay.
Are the goods are there. They are part of the market. Yes. What else?
Well, the traders selling,
Come again.
the traders selling, the sellers.
The sellers. Fantastic. So if there is nobody to sell, will it be a market?
No.
No, and the
Not be a
buyers
market.
too.
The
And the what?
buyer.
And
The
the
buyer.
The buyers.
buyers. So we
Yes, the
have
buyer.
agreed that there are three important things that make the market. There is somebody that
Another
wants
one
to
is the
sell.
means of exchange. Means of exchange.
Fantastic. There's means of exchange. So there's somebody to sell, there's somebody to buy, and there is something that they are selling and they are exchanging money. Is it
I
clear?
think price is another component of market. Price.
Yes. Price. Okay, we'll go to that later. Well, inside that market, we know that there's somebody that wants to buy, there's somebody that wants to sell, and there's something that they're exchanging in between
Yes.
one another. So, can
Yes.
these three things not exist outside of a physical space?
So come again.
These three things, is it not possible to have them outside of a physical space?
It's
It's
possible.
possible. It's
So, will it
possible.
still be a market?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's still a market.
Yes.
Anywhere somebody is buying, somebody is selling, and there's something they are buying and selling, is a market.
Your social media can be your market.
It could be on the social media. As long as there's a presence of somebody who is buying, somebody who is selling, and there's something they are selling and buying. It could be on the internet. It could be in your house. The person that is buying comes to your house. The person that is selling is in your house. It could be in the house of the person that wants to buy.
Even at the
Okay.
junction safe.
It could be at the junction. It could be at the junction. So let's now talk. Who is the most important person in this market? That if this person is not inside this market, there will be no market.
I think the seller.
Okay.
Is the goods.
Because the seller does not have goods. The seller does not have goods to sell. The
Let's
seller
first of all establish that all of them are important. But we are now trying to rate in order of importance.
Okay.
That if all others are present and this one is not present, it will be very
I think
difficult.
the buyer is more important.
Yes.
Okay. Let's put
I
this
think
to
it's the
vote
goods.
now. Okay. So let's put it to vote.
The seller, sorry.
Okay. Some people feel the seller, some
I
people
feel
feel
it's
the
the
buyer,
goods.
and some people feel it's the goods. Okay. For
Yeah,
those who
so
feel
it's
it's
the
the buyer,
buyers.
is the seller. Let's start from those who feel it's the seller. For those who feel it's the seller, can you prove it? Can one of you unmute and prove why you think it's the seller that is most important?
Okay. The seller is important because it's the seller that has the goods. Because if there is nobody to say who wants to buy this akamu,
Okay.
there's no way a buyer will come out to say I want to buy akamu.
Okay.
So it's the seller that have the idea to say, okay, I want to sell akamu,
Okay.
and then make provision for the akamu before we now say, okay, the buyer will now make alarm that I need it.
Okay.
Let me make it this thing.
Okay. Aliu
Okay, sir.
Sadatu, let's hear
Okay,
you.
sir. Reason why I choose the sellers because if the sellers is not there, how can the buyers come to buy the goods? So that is why I feel is the seller. Because if the seller is not there, the people cannot come that they want to buy things.
Okay. If the seller is not there, how can the buyer come to buy your goods? Okay. So yeah, you have a point. Aliu, can we hear you? Sadatu Aliu. Okay, let's hear from Precious.
Okay.
Okay, Aliu is talking now. Let's hear from Aliu. Okay, I think it's Blessing. Blessing, over to you.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening, Blessing.
In my own opinion, there are three important things here: the goods, the seller, and the buyer. Because there is no how any of this one can be important without the three of them. So I believe they work together. The goods, the seller, and the buyer. The three of them are important. That is my own opinion.
Okay, okay. So we all agree that the three are important. We all agree. Okay. Yes, so Xiaomi 240. We don't know your name, but tell us your name,
Lillian.
then you can talk. Okay.
And the reason why I choose the buyer is because, to my own understanding, if the buyers are not there, the sellers will not sell.
Okay, so let's paint different. Okay, I have somebody else hand up.
Okay, mine is the goods
The goods.
because
Okay.
yes, because that is the commodity that
Okay.
we want to sell. For example, if okay, let me just say there might be someone who is willing to go and buy and sell. That is either the wholesaler or retailer, and there are also final consumers or customers who are ready to buy. But if the goods are not available, all those transactions cannot be carried out. the buyer cannot buy, the seller cannot sell. That is if the goods are not there. For example, maybe if there's scarcity of corn, for example, or no corn, or let me say, for example, farmers farm, but their corn did not produce. The next year, there's no way that they can sell corn because there was no corn on ground before they start talking about selling it. There must be corn before you want to sell it. So if there's no goods, there's no way that the seller can sell or
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ene. Okay. Thank you, Ene. So let me ask all of you a question. So let's assume that we have a place that we. Hello. Can you hear me? Okay. I think I'm
hello?
audible. Yeah, I'm audible. Let's assume we have a place we are calling a market. And then we have a lot of people there that want to sell. They have already bought shops. And then they put their goods there. And for 3 months, nobody branch to say we want to buy what they are selling. What will happen to that market?
Do not move.
You think it will just not move?
My shutdown. It will shut down.
You think all those people will continue to stay there?
They will leave.
Thank you. So let's change the equation. So let's assume that there's a place where there are no sellers, but people are coming every day asking for some particular goods for about 3 months. What do you think is likely to happen in that place?
That goods
The
will be selling.
sellers will start coming up now.
Sellers will start coming. They will find their way there very
Yes,
rapidly. The
yes.
people that are there will start going to look for, even if the place is far, they will find a way of getting their goods to that place. So let's put it on the third level. There are buyers, there are sellers, but there are no goods. But the buyer keeps coming every now and then asking. So this happens very much. Maybe you are selling, there's something you are selling, but you don't have. And the buyer keeps asking you, what do you think will happen over a period of time?
You go
You
and get
start,
it and sell.
You go and get it. So who do you think is the most indispensable person in the
The
market?
buyer. The
The
buyer.
buyer. The
the buyer is
buyer.
the king.
The
The
buyer
buyer is the
is.
king.
That's why they say customer is king.
I'm a king. Hmm.
The buyer. Every other thing in the market depends on the buyer. It depends on the customer. So, what do you think should be the first thing you think about when you want to do business?
Consumers need.
Who did we? Yes, in a way, consumers need, but let us frame it the way we are thinking now. Who is the most important person in the market?
Is the
Buyer.
buyer.
So, who do you think you should first think about when you are thinking about anything you want to sell?
The buyer.
The buyer.
Buyer.
Who is my customer? And that is the very first question we need to ask. Identify who your customers are. So, can somebody here tell me in his business who is his customer? Anybody? Because we're all business people.
Okay, my customers.
Okay.
My
So
customers are
tell us
every.
your
I,
business and then tell us
okay.
who your customer is.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Once again, my name is Perpetua, and I run a telecom service business
Okay.
where I sell airtime, data, cable subscription, and electricity subscription. And my customers are everyone that uses a cell phone.
Okay.
Everyone that uses a cell phone is my customer. Everyone
Okay.
that uses a prepaid meter is my customer. Everyone that uses cable that does a cable subscription monthly is my customer.
Okay. So, but
So
let me
once you
ask
have
you a question.
you have a phone, be
But
it
let me ask. But
a
let me ask you
touchlight
a
phone,
question.
an Android phone, an iPhone,
You sell recharge
Yes, sir.
cards, right? You sell recharge
Yes,
cards,
sir.
right? Majority of the people
Yes,
that
sir.
buy from you, is there any gender that is more? Do you see more of men or more of women?
Gender,
Yes, I'm just asking you. Is there any more? Is there
like the airtime.
the
The
people that buy
airtime is more
that
of
patronize?
it's more of men. It's more
It's
of
more of
men.
men. Okay,
It's
it's
more
more
of
of
men.
men.
Yes, sir.
Why? Why do you think it's more of men?
I think because they have the money. They
Okay,
buy for themselves and for their wives, their girlfriends, their family members.
fantastic.
Yes.
Because they are the ones spending the money. Okay. Now,
Yes, sir, I think so.
can you begin to look at maybe which kind of men, which socioeconomic class of men are the people that buy from you? Are they mostly people who drive past?
Like my own business is an online business. Most of my
Oh,
customers, I don't even know them. I've never met them
oh,
before.
okay, okay. Your business is
So
an online business,
yes.
so you
And
sell
I
to them
discovered that
online.
most of my customers are business owners.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay. Now that's. Esther, you want to say something about what we're talking about?
Esther is even my customer.
Okay, great. Esther, do you
Yeah,
want
she
to
used
say
to buy
something?
from me.
Yes, sir. I want to talk about who are my customers.
Okay,
I think my customers are people around me that need my goods and services. Like I deal with agricultural products. So my customers are family people with children who need foodstuff, students who need corn and garri, and also retailers within my area and restaurants. They are my customers. Thank you.
fantastic, fantastic. So before we go to Esther, so let me go back to uh I think it was Precious, the lady selling
Sure.
the recharge cards.
Perpetua.
Perpetua. So
Yes, sir.
Perpetua, do we now
Yes.
agree that your customers are not everybody? That your customers are more of men, like you said? One. Number two, do you have children as your customers?
I have children that are my customers.
You have
Young,
children. Are
young
they a lot?
girls,
How old are they?
like 12 to 15 years.
Are they lot a high percentage of your customers?
No, they are not. They are more of men. More
Thank
of
you.
men.
Men within what
And
age group?
again, men from 25 upwards.
Thank you. So understanding your customer, you should be able to narrow it down and not generalize. The reason is this: when you generalize, you are not able to address a target. And when you cannot address a target, it's difficult for you to invest. It's difficult for you to market your products. You must be just the way Esther was saying, families, which kind of families, what earning of families, what quality of earnings. You must be able to have that mm, direction of who exactly my customers are. Is there any other person that wants to talk about who his customers are? Anybody wants to talk about who your customers are?
Customers are specific group of persons that are in need of a particular product or service.
Yes, but we want to know your own customer in your
Okay,
business.
my customers are mostly women because I'm
Okay,
into palm oil business.
fantastic. Mostly
And
women.
they are the ones that cook in the kitchen. They are
Fantastic.
the
So
first,
they are most
yes,
likely married women, right?
married women, yes. Like
Fantastic. So these are
80%.
married women. Good. But now, what age range do you think these women are? Majority of them.
From 23 to 45.
Fantastic. So you can see that you are narrowing down your customer.
Yeah.
In marketing, we can sometimes narrow down our customer to one person who is our ideal customer so that we use him to understand how best to serve our customers.
Mm.
Is it clear? It doesn't
Yes,
mean
sir.
that there will not be other people that will buy our products that are not within that class, but we need to understand who our customer is. What's the second thing on the screen? Next,
Review who your
customer.
competitors are.
Thank you. Queen, you want to tell us something about competitors?
Yes, sir. My customers are sometimes women, for
Okay.
those that buy the
Okay.
because they buy it fresh from the pond. Women and men.
Okay.
Then for the school bags that I sell for the bags are majorly women, young girls, women at the age range of 25, 30, at most 50. Yes.
Okay.
And then children also that are in secondary school, because I sell school bags also for crèche, primary, and secondary. So those are my direct customers. Thank you.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, so I have another hand raised. Okay. Now I have a question. What's the most important quality that your customer needs to have for you to be successful in business? And this question is coming with a 1,000 naira recharge card.
Now come again with your question.
Okay. What's the most important quality that your customer needs to have for you to be successful in business? If your customer doesn't have that quality, your business will not be successful.
Financial
That
commitment, sir.
Uh,
Financial commitments.
okay. What do you mean by financial commitment?
Your customer must be able to pay for the services or the goods you are providing for them.
So, and then you want my 1,000 naira card.
Thank you, sir.
Your customer must be able to pay. What do you think about a customer that loves your product but does not have money? What do you think about it?
Market no move. Oh.
So, and I dictate your number.
081
Okay.
05
Okay.
00
Okay.
8906.
Okay. What network is it?
MTN, sir.
Okay. So, what happens with a customer that does not have money? He loves your product. What you are selling, he really loves it. Say, yeah, I really love it too, but I don't have money. Do you think how would the business go?
Thank you very much, sir. Airtime received with.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Now you want to say something? Okay, Precious, you want to say something?
a customer that loves your product but
Yes,
doesn't have money to purchase it,
yes.
he will not be able to buy your products.
Will
But
not be able
some of them
to.
might refer you to
Okay,
other people. They will testify about your product, how good it
fantastic,
is, how
fantastic.
more better and valuable it is than others.
So that is a pointer to a customer. Okay, so it's important not just to have a customer, but to have a paying customer, a customer that has money. Very important, very critical. Don't say, many people really like the product. Those people that like the product, how much they get for pocket? They feel buy. If they not feel buy, you never start market. Oh. Okay, let's go over to who the competitors are. Okay, so
Okay, can I?
who wants to speak? Yeah, Precious. There are a lot of people in this class now. Other people should be able to talk. Where is Musa Amina? Mary
Should
Mekano. Okay, who wants to speak?
I go on?
Okay, go on, go on.
So I have a
Okay, let's
question.
hear Lillian. Then we'll come back to you.
Okay,
Lillian.
sorry, sir. There's something that you say that like before they will buy, they should be those people that, like, if you are selling something, that those people that are to buy, they should make sure that they have money. Sorry.
Yes.
Does it mean that if somebody don't have money, he
Mm.
cannot buy? Like, okay, I may have half of the money. I
Okay.
really love that thing that you are selling, but I have
Okay.
half of the money. I don't have the complete money. Can
Okay.
I give you the half of the money so that you will give me the goods, or I will give you the money, then later you will give me the goods when I
If you have
complete
it
my
later,
money?
you still have the money. If you have later, you still have the money. Whether you have it now, you have it later, means you have the money. So let me give
Okay.
you an example. I love cars. I always give this example. I'm a car freak, by the way. I love cars. I love cars. I've taken a job because of the kind of car I was going to drive there before. I love cars. I have different kind of cars. So, but there's a class of car called Porsche. Some of them cost about 200, 300 million naira. I usually go to the Porsche center to look at the Porsche. There's no way I can buy a Porsche. I don't have the money. So if a Porsche cost a Porsche um what do you call it? A Porsche marketer is spending time with me. He's wasting his time. I love Porsche. We will discuss. In fact, I know a lot about it. I understand the turbo engine. I've gone on test driving a Porsche before. But I don't have the money today. I can't get it. I'm not a politician. I can't get 200. I don't have 200 million naira to buy a car. Okay. So he will be wasting his time with me. I leave.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's what I leave. You want to say something? Please, Choma, if there's any,
Good evening,
you
sir.
can
Yes.
unmute your, yes,
For
please
me,
go
for
ahead.
my own,
Yeah.
hello,
Yeah.
for my own understanding, on my com, com, like for instance, Coca-Cola
Okay.
and Pepsi, they are both similar drinks. They are all similar, and they are also the sell in the same market, but they are competitor with each other.
Okay. Very
Then
correct.
also when for when compare. So, for example, I'm just giving an example. They are the same things. They are on my own understand. That's what competitor means. Share.
Very good. So can you tell us your own competitor for your products?
For my own product, me, I'm a hairstylist,
Okay.
and also
Please, can you move a little? Your network is breaking, or am I the only one?
Yeah, the network is breaking. The network is breaking. Okay. Sorry, we can't hear you. Okay. Anybody wants to tell us their competitors?
Can I say something?
Okay, go on.
Okay. I'm into popcorn making and
Okay,
selling. So
fantastic.
my competitors are those people around me that also make popcorn and sell.
Okay.
Those are my competitors because they do the same business I do.
Okay. So let this your business is very interesting. Do you really think that those are your only competitors?
The place I am, people doing it are not much.
No, my question is this. Do you think those who are doing popcorn alone are your only competitors?
No, there are some people who buy to sell, like they don't make it themselves, but they buy from people who make. Those are
So
also my
your customers, why do they buy your product?
okay. Some of them said mine are sweeter than
No, why do
others
they buy popcorn generally?
because they want to eat it.
Okay, so
They
they
want,
want to snack.
yes, sir.
If they don't see popcorn, what possibly can they buy?
They can go for chin chin, biscuits, and other stuff.
Okay. Can't you see that those ones are your competitors?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So you can see your competitor is not only the person that is doing exactly what you are doing. Your competitor is anybody that presents an alternative to your customer.
Okay.
Do you get it? Because
Yes, sir.
anything that your customer buys, rather than buy your product, is competing with you. The guy
Okay.
is
Yes,
supposed
sir.
to buy your popcorn, but when he came, he saw chin chin. He said, I don't want popcorn again. I want chin chin. Is he not your competitor?
Yes, he is.
Your competitor. So this guides, this knowledge guides decision on four things. I will call it the 4 P's of marketing: product, pricing, place, and promotion. Let's take it one by one. Some of us here have taken marketing course before. Product. What does it mean? How can a decision on your product enhance your business? Anybody? If there's
Sir,
anybody in the
can
deaf
you ask
cluster
the
that wants to
question
speak,
again?
how can
Can
a
you ask the
decision
question again?
on your product enhance your business?
It can enhance the business if your product is of more quality than others, and maybe if you have other substitute things that even if somebody doesn't want to buy the one you sell, they can, maybe if they want to go for another thing similar to that, they can also get it from you.
Thank you. Now, the decision of the product to sell, what should determine it?
Your
Think
customers.
Availability of a customer.
yes, and the price too.
We will go to price. If there is nobody that is willing to buy, why are you putting it up to sell? So before putting a product out, make sure that the product is what your customer wants. So let's take the hairdresser, for example. The hairdresser. If it's in a male hostel, they give you a shop in a male hostel. We use this setup. Is there any hairdresser apart from any other hairdresser here? No other hairdresser. Hairdresser, raise your hand. Okay. No other
I
hairdresser. Oh, Precious, are you an hairdresser too?
Yeah, sometimes I do make hair.
Okay, good. So Precious, if they give you a shop in a male hostel, will you set up an hairdressing salon in it?
No, because men they don't make hair, just maybe one or two out of 10, out of even
But
100 that might
but
be made.
if you insist that this hairdressing is my business, this hairdressing is my market, this is what I want to do, what do you think will happen to you at the end of the day?
It will not move.
Thank you.
You have to quit that business or
What
be
kind of
frustrated.
business do you think you put in that shop in the male hostel?
Provisions or
If it is around making hair.
A
okay.
barbing
A
salon.
barbing salon.
Yes.
A barbing salon. So why is a woman not thinking about a barbing salon? What stops a woman from opening a barbing salon? Who made the rule that women cannot barb?
The African rule.
There's no rule. They've just not opened it. You notice when men open hairdressing salon, you don't notice how many women go there. You don't
Yeah.
notice. You don't notice that women prefer their hair being made by men than their hair being made by women. I don't know why.
Yes, that's true. Because unlike pose attract.
Well, I don't know. Maybe
Some
when
of
we are
them
through, maybe
will
this
pamper you one.
question we'll push it to the organizers. Maybe people like Dr. Shola will help us with those answers at the end. But when there's no law that says that a woman cannot make hair, okay? And you may be shocked that if you do an analysis of male of the boys in the male hostel, that they will really prefer. You may be shocked that they may really prefer a female baba to a male baba. I don't know, but we sometimes find out before we set it up. So that's a decision on the product. So let's talk about the pricing. How can pricing affect your business? Who can tell us?
Okay, can I speak?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. If a particular product is being sold in more than one places and your own place happens to have the highest price and other places are selling it for a lower price for the same product, you will not make sales because people will prefer to buy it cheaper if they are getting the same product elsewhere.
How many people agree with Ene?
I do.
Okay. How many people disagree with Ene?
I agree.
Okay, go ahead, please. I want to hear the person that disagree.
Okay. Reason why I say I disagree is that like us that we are hairdressers,
Okay.
we increase our price, but there are some people who are familiar with the way we made our own hair. So they cannot say they will not make the hair because of the price. And also, like this washing of hair, the money increases. It depends on how you fix your price. But maybe you can go to another place that the price is less. Then they will wash it for you, but you will not like the way the other person wash it for you, the way I increase my price. I don't know if you are getting my point.
But I said the same quality, the same quantity elsewhere too.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I said the same quality, the same quantity.
All right.
I
And
believe
then I
hair,
want who else wants to okay.
I
That's
believe
how
hairdressing is different when you're comparing marketing this thing because hair, some people their hands are good and like for some people's hair, like my own hand is stretched hair and does not give dandruff. But there are some people that when they make your hair for you, your hair will be cutting and then you will have dandruff. So if somebody whose hands stretch and does not give dandruff is making hair costlier, people will still want to patronize that person because at the end you and the person knows how to make very well. At the end, you know that that person's own is neater, will improve your hair and not give you dandruff. That is for you to go and start spending extra money trying to cure dandruff. They will still come for yours. But the person whose hand gives dandruff and cuts hair, many people will be avoiding that person. So me, I believe hairdressing is different in terms of pricing for other marketing this thing.
okay. You people are leaving us in this discussion. Vivian Ngoka, let's hear your voice. Let's hear your voice. Salamatu Muhammad. What do you think? Would people always go for a cheaper option? Who else is here? Alabede, Janet. What do you think? Okay, let's hear from those who have not spoken today. Justina, um, our sign language interpreter. I want to hear from the deaf participants. Choma,
I've
the
been
question is,
deaf people, and none of them is responding. I've been saying deaf people, I want to hear from you. None of them has responded.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So so who is the architect? Who is the proponent of the fact that once the price is lower and the qualities are the same, people will always buy the lower price? Who wants to defend it? I have a question for you.
Can I defend that?
You want to defend it, Ene?
Yes, sir.
Ene, do you
If
buy medicines? Okay, Precious, right? That's Precious. Is that
sir.
Precious?
Yes, yes, sir.
Who wants to defend it, Amici? I want somebody that is bold enough to defend the
I
fact
want
that
to
Precious, you want to defend it. Precious, do you buy
Yes, sir.
medicines? Do you buy medicines?
Yes, I do.
Which
Once in a
medicine
blue
do which medicine do you know?
malaria drugs.
Anyone, which one do you know?
Ametin soft gel.
Ametin, soft gel.
Soft gel.
How much did
Yes.
you buy the day you bought it?
I think it was 800 the last time I bought it, that some months back.
Okay, it's 800 when you bought it. Okay. And then that's generally how much they sell it, right?
Yes, sir.
So if tomorrow you enter a pharmacy and they offer you at 120 naira, will you buy it?
For medicine.
Hmm.
I will check the expiring date first.
Expiry date is okay.
Okay. I'll buy it, but I will not be that
Now
confident
Precious,
about it.
now Precious is shaking. Ah. Why are you Precious? But why are you reconsidering what you are thinking?
So because it concerns my health. If I should go and buy, because there are many people doing fake drugs,
Exactly.
and then they will package it. It will look like it's original, like it's the real
Exactly.
one, and you
So
might
what
not know.
first comes to your
But
mind
that
when they
pricing,
tell you that that product is 150? What will first come to your mind?
I would doubt the efficiency of that product, and then
Exactly.
if it
Pricing does not necessarily need to be lower. It just needs to be appropriate.
okay.
Hello? Hello?
Hi.
If you
Hello.
see a car for 400,000 naira on the internet, will you buy it?
I might not buy it though.
That
Why?
one I'm moto.
It will give me headache.
Even if it is real, you will not believe it.
Yes, we hard to believe.
The price is part of what it has to be appropriate. If the price is not right, if it is the same way, if it is too high, nobody will buy it. They will say it's too expensive. The same way, if it is too low, people will say, no, 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 this cannot be real.
Exactly.
So we need to understand that pricing needs to be appropriate, not necessarily lower or higher. Anybody wants to say something about it? How many people have entered an hotel to buy a bottle of Coke?
I have.
It's
How
almost
much?
as twice as the real price outside.
And are they selling yes or no?
Ah, they are very much selling. Oh.
My dear, you can see price. Oh. The customers will buy.
I think it's the
You know,
location that makes the
with
price to be different.
price tag.
A lot of factors that make the price different.
Location. Yeah.
Location could be one of it. And that takes us to the next thing, which is the place. What do you think about place? What is the meaning of place when it comes to marketing?
A place can be where specific customers are of majority, where they are located, majorly
Okay.
located.
Are you a marketing expert?
Planning to be one.
What did you study?
Nursing.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir.
So this is a nurse marketer. Yes, so you don't like I just made an example of a boys' hostel. You don't set up an hairdressing salon in a boys' hostel. It's the wrong place. Okay? You need to find the right place. And if you don't put the business in the right place, the business will not move. And then finally, promotion. Why is promotion the last? Anybody? Or you think it should have come
What
first?
promotion is the last is because you have to have a product first.
Yes.
The product should have a price,
Good. A good price. A good price, not just a price.
an appropriate price.
Appropriate price. Good.
Yes, and you should have a location, you should have a place before you
It should
start
be in the right place before you start promoting. So
promoting. Yes.
if you are promoting, so you have finally opened this your hairdressing salon in the boys' hostel. You now start going from room to room in that boys' hostel, distributing handbill. What do you think about it?
They will be telling you that the location is the business is the wrong business.
So what do you think about that business owner? Set up a business in the wrong place and you're now promoting it. You're wasting your time.
You're wasting your time.
So don't get to this mold that the first thing you need to do about your business is promotion. No, it's not the first thing. It's important, but it's not the first thing. And don't let radio stations confuse you and television stations. Oh, come, let's do promotion. If you don't have a right product, if it doesn't have the right pricing, if it's not in the right place, your promotion is a waste of time. Your promotion in reality is an enhancement when all the other three things are falling into place. Any question for me at this point?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir. I have a question. It's Perpetua.
Yeah, Papa.
Now, what about those that are into drop shipping? They don't
What
have
do
products. Those into drop shipping, they don't have
what do you mean
products.
by drug shipping? Tell me more about
That
it.
is, maybe they have somebody that is selling,
Okay.
they collect from the person to resell when they
Okay.
have a customer to buy.
Okay. Yeah,
So they
yeah,
don't have
but the product they are buying is what they are reselling.
they are not buy, they've not bought it too. It's when
They
the
buy
customer
when
now
there is
shows
need. Yes, yes,
when the customer shows interest.
yeah.
So they are still promoting it. They are promoting it without them having the product.
They have a potential customer in mind, and they have a potential product in mind. It doesn't matter that it's not yet in their hands.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you,
Do you
sir.
get that?
Yes, I.
Okay. Any other person? Any question? Any comment at this point? So, want to talk about market research. So, if we really think the customer is the most important thing, before you start your business, you need to gather information about customer needs, competitor strength, pricing, and demand. And there are several methods. You can do surveys, you can do interviews, you can do online research, and you can make observation. Has anybody here done a market research before? And what did you do? Anybody? I need everybody's attention in this class. It's like some people are just in this class and they are not attentive. Who is that lady that sells recharge card? Do you actually sell recharge card? Where is she?
I'm the one. It's Perpetua.
Perpetua. Perpetua, do you sell the do you generate the code to sell, or you
For now,
transfer?
I've stopped doing that. I do
Oh,
transfer.
oh, okay, you stop. I thought if I could get a code, I would have just read the code out for the fastest finger. I will do that next time, so that everybody that is keeping their phone and not listening to us will miss out. So the methods you have survey. So is there anybody that has done a market research before? Let's hear from you. Anybody? Is there a way? It could be your own way of finding out about the market before you do your own business. It could be a different way. Let's talk. Anybody? Okay, I can see a hand up. Okay, Queen, over to you.
Yes, sir. The network is kind of breaking, but if I get it right, you're asking if anybody have done market survey before, right?
Yes.
Okay. My own is just will I say kind of randomly, okay. It was not well structured, but anyhow, when I because there was a time when I came back from school after selling some stuff in school, I wanted to go into bag selling, and I just had passion for it. But I don't have anybody who sells bag around me that I could ask from. But what I did was I went to the town. The place was a bit far from where we live, and because I sighted somebody selling there, and I went to meet the guy. I was asking him, "Sir, I want to do something like this, but I don't know where you get your goods. I don't know how you fix the price and all of that." So he now told me that okay, what he would do, since me I might be scared of trusting him with my money, which I told him, yes, I cannot just trust you with my money. So what he now told me that okay, that he will help me to buy few pieces of the bags and then tell me how much they're going to sell it from the market, from Onitsha market, and then when the goods entered my hand, these are the ways I'm going to use to to, to add my own profit and calculate my expenses to make sure that I don't just sell just because of I want to sell. So he put me through, and then I did some selection in his shop, and then he ordered those bags for me, and then I sold them, and I had profit. Though the profit at that time was not that much, but he was able to guide me. And whenever I'm confused of the price or mix it up, I will just reach out to him. Sir, this also bag that I bought, I want to sell it for this amount because the price I'm putting, people are not really buying it. They are pricing it lesser than that. So he told me something. He said, so long sun is not touching the bag, and the bag you have is of good quality, that I shouldn't mind, that the right buyer will come. And then I hold that word to myself. And really, with patience and everything, I saw that really the right buyer came for the bags. And at times, they even buy more than my expectation for the price. And it makes the business grow. Unlike going to borrow money to come and do business. No, I was using the profit from the business to grow the business. And I really learned a lot. You're going for the right things to buy, going for what people need. And apart from that, other little things that people also request. When I tell him, he will tell me, focus, but you can do this. Focus. And the consistency that he was driving me to was really another headway into the business. So he was the one that gave me ideas, and I could say that was a business on top. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's a very beautiful story. You had two things together. You had a business mentor. A business mentor is an amazing person. He's gone through your business before. He understands your business and is helping you to succeed. In the course of this training, for those who make it to the end, you're going to have the opportunity of having a business mentor. Okay. The business mentor guided you to through the research, which is very, very important. So I want to ask another open question. If you want to open a retail shop, how can you do a simple market research on whether that retail shop, whether they to sell, whether the location, whether there will be sales or not? They show you a shop and you want to open small supermarket there. How would you know whether that supermarket, whether people will come there or not? Anybody wants to help?
Can I go on?
Yeah. Okay. Let's start from uh okay. Who has not spoken today? I will come back to you, Precious. But let me
Okay,
see.
sir.
Let me see if anybody that has not spoken to Blessing. Do you want to say something, Blessing?
Yes, I want to say something.
Okay, go ahead,
The,
Blessing.
the question is, if you have a location and you want to open a retail shop,
Yes.
then what are the things you have in mind to know whether the market will be productive? Abby, that is the
Yes.
question.
Yes.
One of the things to look into is you look around so that you know the demand. You have to know what the people around there will need. That is
Okay.
the most important thing. You will know what the people around there need, the thing that can move easily there. Like in my own area here, big market is very close to us. So when you want to sell something retail, you have to be careful of what you will sell because market is very close to us. But if the location is like the place that market is not close to, you can easily go to the market and bring some things that you know that people around there will need it, and it will be easier from there to get it from you than going to the market. That is number one. Then number two, you will look into prices. You have to know the price, you compare the price with the market price. That is my own understanding.
Very correct, Blessing. Very correct. Any other person wants to tell us how can you know if a retail shop, if a location would be good for a retail shop? Any other person? Okay,
Yes,
Precious,
sir.
do you still want to, okay, who is speaking?
Janet.
Janet, okay. Janet, we missed you today. Oh. Why now? You left us alone since.
That's how I've been following. You asked if we have done market research before. I've not done it before. That was why I didn't answer.
Okay, oh yeah, Janet, over to you.
Okay. For this one again, we need to know if there is somebody already selling what we're about to sell in that location,
Okay,
so that we know how to go about our own.
okay, okay. That's true. That's also very correct. Any other person? Amina, Musa, you want to say something? Any other person?
Can I go on now?
Okay, go on now.
Okay. First, study the environment.
Yes.
Know what's around there, and then the kind of people that are there, and the ones that you know can buy that, as well as the price. Like for example, I stay in Kwali,
Okay.
Lamata inside Kwali. That place, you like popcorn that I might, if I want to sell popcorn in town, like let me say Wuse area one, the ones I sell 15 naira in that Lambata, that place, I might sell it 200 in Wuse and it will move. But if I should sell that one 200 in that Lambata, it will not move. So like you study your environment and know how that place is, and then your customers what you know that they can buy, or if they can make your business grow or die.
Fantastic. So everybody has contributed well, and you are all very correct. In any case, one of the first things in a retail outlet is to even know how many people are in that area. So, what we do in retail location analysis is that we stand at that location for a period of time, stand at that location for about an hour, and count how many people that belongs to your customer class really passed by. Because most retail locations is determined by how many human beings are really going across that. So you should stand there for an hour and you found only 3 people passing. So sorry. It's going to be very unlikely that you make a lot of sales. Okay? So, but then are they relevant? The people, maybe there are 200 people passing, and can you put what is relevant to them? Can you match up with the pricing of your competitor in that area? And a lot of other things have been said. Or what we just want to bring out of this is that you do not start a business without conducting a market research. And there are several methods of conducting market research. One of it is what I've just said, asking around. What do they want here? What do they buy here? What do they look for here? Or you do interview, you do survey, you do online research or observation. You just watch what is likely to work here. But it's important before you do any business that you gather information about your customer needs, your competitor strengths, your pricing, and your demand. What we recommend is that you identify someone that can fit into your customer, to be the kind of customer that you want, and approach that person and ask that person questions about whether your product will like your product or not. Is that something we can try?
Yes, hello, can I talk?
Yes, go ahead, Professor.
Yes, I've done observation before
Okay,
when I was in the university. Like
okay,
I think I said it was it the other two the, some the class we had before the last.
okay,
I observed that there was no provision shop in the hostel.
okay,
I asked questions. I asked my blockmates where they used to buy things. They told me it's in the market, and the market I discovered that the market was far from the hostel. So I took advantage of that.
yeah, you
Start
shared it
selling.
the last time. So the assignment today now is that for whatever um thing you are selling, look for an ideal customer. Then interview that customer. What are his needs? Does your product absolutely satisfy his needs? Is there something else he would have wanted your product to do for me? Do you get my 3 questions? Define
Sir,
your
come
target market.
again.
Yes. Look for somebody who fits into your target of who you are selling your products to. And approach that person. You might make a call, you might approach that person and ask, what are his needs? With regards to what you are selling, what does he want? What are his needs? Number one
Sir,
question.
please,
No,
can you put it in right up?
okay, we'll put it in writing.
Thank
Okay. So number one question is what are his needs? Number two question is whether your product presently satisfy those needs. And number three question is what would he want you to do differently to be able that something that he has always thought of that you should do differently. So you need to identify your customer, you need to know their gender, their age, their location, their income level, and their buying habits. And that's what I was saying when we were talking about the recharge card. You can't say everybody is my customer. You need to look at what kind of people these people, like you find out that they are almost men, and they are men, they are not young men, they are middle-aged men. Okay, and they will have a location, there will be a particular income level, and then you can know their buying habits. Okay. Next is to understand your competitor. I believe this should be straightforward, don't you think so? Who sells similar products? What are their strengths and what are their weaknesses? This is assignment number 2. Your competitors, we've spoken about them. What are their strengths and what are their weaknesses? Okay? And then part of the customer information you are going to get is the prices they are willing to pay. Part of the competitor information is what your competitors are charging. Then I will share a template with you. You fill it in, you talk about your target customer, you talk about your competitor, and then you talk about your insights. Okay? Any question or comment at this point before we go to our last question? Why is understanding the market important? Who can answer this question?
Because
Yeah, Khadija.
I have typed my question in the comment section.
Oh, okay, great. If I want to sell in my area, do I go into people's house to interview them? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You can meet them on the streets because they will always come out. If they don't come out, they will not buy your products. So you can always meet them on the street and ask questions. Okay?
I wanted
So,
to say
what
something
if they
about the
hardly come
question
out
also.
from the
Okay, please go
houses?
ahead.
They don't have
Hello?
that only has
Yeah,
gate
please
that
go
is
ahead.
locked. You can go in.
Let's hear Khadija. Khadija, over to you.
I said, what if they don't come out from their houses? They don't have that have gates. It's always locked.
So if the people in your area do not come out
Yeah.
from their houses, how can they be your customer? Because for them to be your customer, they need to come to your shop or come to where you are selling your stuff. So if they don't come out from their houses, they are not potential customer. Or what do you think?
I want to say something about that question, sir.
Okay, blessing, over to you.
Okay, like I said in the first time about marketplace verification, just as I use my own side here to do an example. Like in my area, we are close to a bigger market. So, like the question Khadija is asking now, if you want to go into selling in that area, you must not necessarily go to their house and knock their door, just as you have said. For instance, let me use red oil for example. Red oil, they put it in bottle, they sell. So they buy the same price that they buy from the market, is different from the price that retailers do sell, because the retailers will go to the big market and buy it in bottle and top it with like 100 naira, 200 naira to sell it on their own table. So what I did in my own case, I'm not going to buy in bottles to sell. I buy in jerrycan. I buy exactly the quantity that those selling in the market are selling. So everything I sell in my shop, I deal with food stuff. So everything I sell in my shop, I buy in larger quantity, just the way those selling in the main market are selling. I sell it the same price. So what I do, I ask them, how much are you selling oil here? They will tell me, that is my competitors now. How much are you selling? They will tell me. How much do you buy from the market? They will tell me. So I buy and sell to those retailers. So for example, I sell in form of wholesale in my own shop. So the people selling in my area will buy from me instead of them going to the market. They buy from my shop and sell. And it's advantage to the final consumers, because the final consumers also have the opportunity to buy from me too. So you must not necessarily go to their house to knock their door and ask them. But one thing lead to the other. You have your opportunity to do your market research. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much. Any other addition?
I was
Hi.
thinking that a part of market research. Hello, can I
Go ahead, please.
go
Go ahead.
on? Okay. A part of market
I have a
research could be
question.
from your own needs as a person, because you might be one of your consumer.
Yes, so you can start from being your own consumer. I think someone shared a story of how she made creams for some kind of joint ache. Okay, so you can start from being your consumer, but we still advise because you can be biased. You will always
Yes.
think that your own thing is fine, but we still advise that you speak to someone. And when you are doing market research, don't try to sell to that person. You want honest information. When the person says, "Ah, I don't like this your product," say, "Eh? No, you want to understand what the person really wants so that your product you can adapt it to what he wants. You listen. You don't push the product on him. You listen to take feedback. Okay. Any other comments or question at this point?
I
Okay, go ahead, please.
want to ask,
Okay, go ahead. Ask your question.
what if I don't have a shop or a location? I'm doing business from home. How do I know? Home.
Yes, you can do business from home.
I said
Remember,
that. What if I don't have a shop or a location? I'm doing business from home.
correct. So you can do business from home. Remember the 4 P's of promotion: product, place, price, or promotion. Let me give you an example. How many people run grinding machines from outside their houses? That's a business they almost always run from home. So the only thing is to ask whether the home is the best place to run that business. If it's not the best place to run that business, you either get a business that home is fantastic to run or find a fantastic place to run the business. But there's nothing wrong with running the business from. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question before we go to our final question for the day? So you are going to draw your own 4 P's table, and you are going to get feedback on your uh from your peers on it, and you refine your business idea. That's the assignment. I'll put it in the assignment page for everybody, and then we are going to let's go back to our last question. So the question I'm closing the day is: can disability be an advantage in business? Is that possible? Who wants to answer? Is it possible? For some advantages, any advantage at all to come out of your disability in the business you're choosing. Anybody? Okay, go ahead. I think I see a hand raised. Victoria. Victoria, over to you. Victoria,
Yes, that's an advantage.
anybody wants to answer? Or you say you think
Yes,
that okay, go ahead, Khadija.
and I am more focused.
Okay, it helps you to be
No
more focused.
distraction.
No distraction. Yes.
That's an advantage for me.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, Ene, go ahead.
How a disability can be of an advantage is that some sensible people might want to encourage you by patronizing you.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Okay. Any other person wants to speak?
Okay, can I go on?
Yeah, go ahead, Precious.
Okay, to me, I believe it can be an advantage because as a person with disability, you know that you have competitors and most of them are not persons with disability. So you would want to put in your best into doing that thing so that you like outshine your competitors. So that's my own
So
this I way.
you are bringing out the advantage. You're turning it around for yourself, and that's amazing. Okay, beautiful. Over to you, Queen.
Okay, disability can can make it a plus or it's a plus and making you to stand out and to bring out the best in you and to making you it makes you to rebrand your product. Yes, like let me bring this aspect as a personal stuff to me. Like why I sell my bags, most people describe whenever they're coming or maybe they want to give a location, they say, just go to so area. When you get there, just ask of the lady that uses wheelchair by the roadside. Then once you just ask her, I'm looking for a lady that uses wheelchair, they will bring you to her shop and she sells good bags. And people from afar do come because of that. And my disability paved the way for them to come. Despite they are coming from far and near, they come and they get it. Because if I were not to be a person with disability, maybe they wouldn't have been saying, okay, she has this, or maybe I would have not liked to go for something standard. I'll just go anyone can serve. But this, I go for strictly something that is good and quality. And they'll say, the price is high, but don't worry, you'll get it right there. So it's a plus for me. Thanks.
So thank you so much. I will take the two other hands
Can I,
and then
sir, can
yes.
I say something?
Okay,
Sir,
please go ahead. Yeah.
sir, can I go on?
Yes, please go on.
Okay. To me, sir, sorry, please, can you people hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Gimba.
Okay.
Go ahead,
No,
please.
sorry.
We can hear you. Okay. Esther, you want to say something? My time is fast spent.
Okay, sir. Where disability can be an advantage to your business is empathy. Like people seeing, despite your disability, you are doing a business, so they would like to patronize you and also to encourage you to keep on pushing. Just like one case that we all watch, that we all seen, that happened on social media, where an amputee, she was hawking sachet water, and the thing went viral. A lot of people have to patronize her. They started contributing money to the extent that she got her own sachet water factory. So I think people showed her empathy and to encourage her to expand. That's my own understanding.
Work is easy because I use Click.
Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. And I brought this question up because in reality, in every disadvantage, we could still find some positive light. We could still, okay, Victoria, you want to say something? Hello, Victoria. Okay. Okay. Okay, Beatrice. Oh, okay. It's calling our attention.
Sir, sir, I'm back.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Gimba.
Okay, disability can actually be an advantage as a unique advantage. Sorry, a disability can actually be an advantage in a business or passing growth because it can give you unique strength.
Thank you. Thank you. I want you to watch this video as we end the class today.
Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done in a list view.
Can you hear?
There's no stress at all in my.
Can you all hear? Is the audio clear?
There's no stress at all in my job.
Zane King spent years in the corporate rat race.
The difference between what I do now and what I did then is that everybody's happy to see me.
Like so many people these days, King's career change was forced, but not by the struggling economy.
Once you mention it to them, it's like it clicks in their mind. Yeah, there was something different about you.
While in his 20s, Zane King lost his eyesight, something many of his clients today don't even notice.
All the rooms are pretty dark. I would argue that it benefits you more to be used to not seeing well than it does to be somebody who relies on your vision all the time. And put those two people in a dark room and see who functions better. I'll give it to the blind guy every time.
And at this Massage Envy store in a North Dallas suburb, King is not alone. That's Bill with his seeing eye poodle, Paul walking down the hall, and meet Diana, the comedian of the group.
We play blind jokes. Like when he bumps into me I go, "Are you blind or what?" Just it's funny because we gotta get like Paul. We gotta get him a blind date because he's looking for a girlfriend.
The four are part of a growing trend of blind therapists. Growing trend because it simply makes sense.
Once the person's on the table, you know, everybody's body's put together the same way, so you know where everything is.
In fact, some massage schools are even teaching blind technique.
I've also been told by a lot of the sighted therapists that they close their eyes when they're doing a massage, and they get more out of what they're doing by doing that.
Lee Fuqua has been coming here for 3 years, and other than the dog, says he doesn't even notice his therapist can't see.
If somebody loses one of their senses, they usually, their other senses that they have are usually amplified. And I think Bill's sense of touch is really incredible.
The store's owner says he's open to hiring more blind masseuses down the road. Rich Matthews, The Associated Press, Addison, Texas.
Okay, so I've exhausted my time, but can I have two people talk about this video?
Hey, can I go on? Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, from the video, I noticed that despite he's visually impaired, most of his clients did not notice that he was visually impaired. Like they didn't see his disability before him. They saw his capability before his disability, and it did not stop him from working, earning a living. And he was very good at what he does. So more clients prefer coming to them. And even the owner of the place is even saying that he's more open to hiring more visually impaired people because of the person he's seeing that is working for him.
Fantastic. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard this before. Queen, you want to say something? Okay. I don't know if you've ever heard this before, and there are a lot of researches on this now, that visually impaired people are better in massaging than sighted. Because even when they are teaching massaging, they tell them to close their eyes so that they can feel their hands. And because generally, when people lose their sight, they have heightened capabilities with touch. Those heightened capabilities are translated to enhanced abilities with massage than people that are sighted. I'm bringing up this thing to show that sometimes we shouldn't always only see the negative side of things. As we plan our businesses, as we organize our businesses, we can always still look around for those areas where we can maximize what we have and make it better to even outshine another person that possibly is not missing out of what we're missing on. At this point, I hope we've had a good time. Any final question and we'll call it a day. Okay. Any final question or comments? Queen, you want to say something?
I just want to say thanks a lot for today's lecture because I really learned a lot, and I also want to appreciate you the way you're taking the lecture bit by bit because you're helping us to dissect it, not just to just go blah 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 blah, but for us to be able to pick things and where we are not seeing it, you're bringing our eyes to the light of those angles. That's all what I'm just want to say, and I'm really excited about this all. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks so much, Queen. I'm sure at the end of these trainings, we are going to have multi-million businesses come out of this class. I still have just 25 people in this class. I'm expecting about 50 people actually. That is apart from the organizers. I think we need to tell our colleagues who are supposed to be here and please let them catch up with us so that we can have a full class. Dr. Shola, Dr. Chima, I don't know if any of you have a final word.
Hello.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah. Good evening. It's Eno.
Okay, Eno. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, Eno.
So,
Over to you, Eno.
good evening, everybody. And as usual, the class was very interesting and engaging, and I also learned a lot from it. So well done, Mr. Dotun. Thank you very much. So to everyone, please check the comment box, the chat box for the attendance for today. Okay, and make sure to fill it and submit. Click on submit, please. And then the other videos from our sessions are up on the YouTube channel. So you'll find a link in the WhatsApp group for that. So be sure to go back if in case you did not or you missed anything or the connection was poor, you can go back and watch it. Thank you very much.
The assignment question, ma.
I will
Said he
drop the
promised to
assignment. I will drop the assignments myself tonight in the chat room. Not in this chat room, in the WhatsApp group.
Okay, sir. So we are waiting.
Yeah, I'll drop it. Not immediately. You need to give me about 2 hours, but I'll drop it tonight.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, all the hosts.
Thank you very much. Good night.
All right, thank you. Good night. See you in the next class.
Night.
Good night, everybody. Well done, Chioma. Thank you.
Please sign the attendance. Sign the attendance.
Not opening. My attendance list is not opening. I think
Wow.
that you screenshot.
It should be your network because it's opening for some other people.
Ever since I started attending, I tried opening it. It's not working.
Okay.